us, Happy New Year to everybody. And to those of you that have donated to our appeal already this year, thank you very much. We are about halfway there, but we are ahead of last year, so thank you. Couple more things. If you need a restroom during the show, feel free, but be mindful for your colleagues. The restrooms are out here in this hallway. If you need to get up for something, again, mind your people around you and feel free. What else? We will have a quick intermission between the two sets, between our Rising Stars and our featured act, so that we can reconfigure the stage a little bit. But without further ado, Sandy, are you doing the intro? You are now. Whether you want to or not. My colleague and Jersey Jazz editor, Sandy Joseph. And I'm Sydney Hall.
Today's Rising Stars opening act is an all Basking Ridge trio, and I suspect we have a few people here from Basking Ridge today. And by looking at the size of this audience, I'm thinking maybe we should have had this in the Ridge High School Performing Arts. But anyway, Anisha Lure, who is the head of the trio, a tenor saxophonist, is a senior at Ridge High School, and he's a member of last year's All-State New Jersey Jazz Ensemble. He was also the only New Jersey student musician in the Generations of Jazz Orchestra that performed at the Monterey Jazz Festival, and he's a Young Arts Award winner as well. Bassist Chris Maratea is a graduate of Ridge High School as a freshman at College of the Holy Cross, and when he was in high school, he was a member of the All-State New Jersey Jazz Ensemble. And the drummer is Anisha's brother, Ishan, who was a student at Newark Academy. Newark Academy, as you may know, last year, their jazz band won Jazz at Lincoln Center is essentially Ellington competition. Before I ask them to come out, I just want to acknowledge somebody in the audience who gave us a lot of exposure for today, and that's Ray Watts, who is the editor of Tap Into Basking Ridge. So without further ado, here's the Anisha Lure Trio. We always ask the Rising Stars to tell the audience one thing about yourself that you don't think you know.
Hi everybody, thank you for coming. One thing about me. So, in addition to playing saxophone, I've also been studying classical piano since I was 4 years old. So I also do that, and that's a big part of, I think that's helped me tremendously with jazz as well, because classical music has shaped jazz tremendously as well. So that's one thing about me. So we're going to be playing a few selections for you today. First, I know Sandy already introduced the band, so we're going to get right into it with On the Trail by Ferdy Grove. Thank you very much. That was On the Trail by Faraday Groff. Next, we're going to be playing I'll Remember April. Very famous jazz standard, which was made famous in the 1937 movie Ride 'Em Cowboy. So it's a very, very well-known standard for Great American Songbook standard. So this is I'll Remember April by Gene DePaul. you very much. That was All Remember April. Next, we're going to be playing a song that many of you guys will know. It's based off the blues, and this is Sandu by the great Clifford Brown, trumpeter. next we are going to be playing a very famous jazz standard, There Will Never Be Another You.
One, two, three.
that was There Will Never Be Another You. Now we're gonna close it out with Saint Thomas by the living legend saxophonist Sonny Rollins. to introduce the members of the band again. Chris on bass. Ishan on drums. my brother. And I would like to thank New Jersey Jazz Society for this opportunity. We're extremely honored to be opening up for the Anderson Brothers. And thank you all for coming and supporting live music. My name is Anish Lord.
I say it again and again, but jazz is alive and well and in the hands of this next generation. So thank you, gentlemen. I realized we had two brother acts when we booked today, so that's very exciting too. We're going to take about a 5-minute break to reset the stage, so if you want to refill, you need to use the restroom, do so now, and then we will bring out the Anderson Brothers Trio. Rachel has sponsored today's show, and we are eternally grateful to her. She's been unbelievably generous to us over the years, and it's just such a lovely gift. And rumor has it that the boys will be doing a record on Arbor's label, right?
Recording next weekend.
Next weekend, and it's going to, can I say what it's about?
I think you have no choice.
Because I've kicked that door wide open. They're going to be recording Irving Berlin, which we all can't wait, can we? So obviously you have a standing date when it comes out, then we're going to need to have that record back. So we have Will and Pete Anderson, and John asked me which one is which right now because I haven't got back to them and I can't tell. So they're going to tell you which ones they are. If they're the same, I stand a fighting chance. Separately, I'm not great at it. And then we also have Adam, and Adam, I forgive me, I can't think of your last name. It's got a lot of letters. Mozenia. Okay, so this is going to be very exciting. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to the boys, and then I will have one more thing to say at the end, but I'm holding it. Okay, hi.
Suspense is killing me.
They're the twin. that does it for us this evening. Come
Thank you.
very much. Well, as Duke Ellington said, there are only two kinds of music. Good music and the other kind. We opened up with a composition called the Air Mail Special, which was composed by the clarinetist Benny Goodman. And that last selection we just played was sung by Frank Sinatra, but it was also featured in the Mel Brooks film, Blazing Saddles. It was written, of course, by Cole Porter, entitled I Get a Kick Out of You. And I know we have a lot of music lovers out there, and an interesting fact about a lot of Cole Porter songs is that they tend to be very long. So jazz musicians like to play them very fast. Now, just before that song was a song composed by Sinatra's personal songwriter and his best friend, and that was the great Jimmy Van Heusen. Yes. And Jimmy won Academy Awards for his songs, including High Hopes, All the Way, and Swingin' on a Star. The song that we played was called Love and Marriage, and most of you probably know it as the theme song for the television series hit Married with Children. However, if you know anything about Jimmy Van Heusen's personal life, he was hardly married with children. He had a second career as a test pilot for World War II fighter jets. And let's just say that his love life more closely resembled that of an undergraduate frat boy. So today we are presenting gems from the Great American Songbook. And this repertoire was crafted during a golden age of American music when the cultural stars aligned. In other words, popular songs melded with jazz. But what exactly is jazz? Well, let's hear from one of the leading scholars of the 20th century, Yogi Berra. He said, anyone who understands jazz knows that you can't understand it. It's too complicated. That's what's so simple about it. But perhaps even more meaningful, Duke Ellington once said, jazz has always been like the kind of man you wouldn't want your daughter to associate with. With that in mind, we'd like to continue with Duke Ellington's hit entitled The Mooch. phrase, World War II changed jazz, and homesick American soldiers were soothed by the melancholic sounds of Tommy Dorsey, Frank Sinatra, and Glenn Miller. Now that last song was Irving Berlin's Marie, which was a big hit for Tommy Dorsey. And among all of the great American songbook composers, Irving Berlin could do it all. He wrote lyrics, he composed ragtime music, Tin Can Alley, pop music, patriotic songs, holiday songs, musicals, and film soundtracks. And George Gershwin called Berlin the greatest songwriter that ever lived. In addition, Jerome Kern said that Irving Berlin has no place in American music. He is American music. Now, speaking of the great Jerome Kern, we'd like to slow things down with his composition entitled The Way You Look Tonight. Thank you very much. We hope you enjoyed our version of the United Airlines theme song. Now, George Gershwin himself said that Rhapsody in Blue is a musical kaleidoscope of America, of our vast melting pot, of our unduplicated national pep, of our blues and our metropolitan madness. The piece debuted with an orchestra of 24 musicians, but today we had 3 due to budget restrictions. In the 1920s, the Midwest was also a hotbed of jazz and innovation, and a Chicago-based cornetist first recorded with his band called the Wolverines, and his name was Vic Spiderbeck. His solos completely hypnotized a pianist from Indiana named Hoagy Carmichael. So Hoagy composed this next song with the goal of emulating a Vic Spiderbeck solo. It's entitled Stardust. He's good. Well, the story goes that one day Irving Berlin picked up the phone and called his friend Cole Porter and asked, "How's that long song of yours doing?" He was referring to that last song, Begin the Beguine, which is in fact the longest popular song ever written. Because most popular songs consist of a standard 32 measures, but Begin the Beguine's measures total 108. And the famed musicologist Alec Wilder said, "After hearing Begin the Beguine hundreds of times, I cannot sing, whistle, or play it from start to finish without the printed music. At about the 60th measure, I find myself muttering another title, and the Beguine." The song itself was not noticed when it debuted, but 2 years later, it was recorded by a clarinetist with a very sophisticated taste. Thank you, Artie Shaw. The only problem was, Artie Shaw's version became so popular that every time he appeared in public, he was bombarded with dozens of demands to perform the song over and over again, which actually caused Artie Shaw to completely leave the music business. Screw you, Cole Porter. Now, speaking of Begin the Beguine, when my brother and I were in the 12th grade, we were asked by the National Foundation of the Arts to present a special concert for one of the events that they were holding. And this was in early 2005, and they wanted us to perform Begin the Beguine at their event where they were going to be honoring someone with a Lifetime Achievement Award. And the musician that was still alive at the time was the great Artie Shaw. So we knew we had to perform this song for Artie Shaw at an event, so we practiced for hours and hours to get it just right. And about a week before the event, Artie Shaw passed away. But we still claim to this day that Artie Shaw was literally dying to hear us play. now we're going to play fast. glad we ended together. Well, of course, that was Irving Berlin's Puttin' on the Ritz, famously sung by the monster in the Mel Brooks film Young Frankenstein. Let's move ahead to the 1960s. In 1961, a brand new Henry Mancini film was being previewed, and the Paramount studio head was impressed. He said in a meeting, "I love the picture, but that darn song has to go." The star actress jumped out of her seat and yelled, "Over my dead body." The actress was Audrey Hepburn. The film was Breakfast at Tiffany's, and the song was Moon River. I'd like to introduce a very special musician who's put up with my brother and I for many hours in the car, traveling many miles across the country. There's not a lot of guitarists that can do quite what he does. He's not only the guitarist with our ensemble, but he also plays the bass, the drums, and the piano, somehow all in one instrument. But the local 802 union hasn't figured out that we're paying him single scale. He's in demand all over the world. He was just in Europe and did a 35-day tour with his ensemble on the west coast of the country. And he played for many months with the late, great Freddie Cole, one of the true masters of the Great American Songbook. Please, round of applause for Adam Mazzini. Also over there on the clarinet, the tenor saxophone, and that wacky instrument, which is what can be produced when you put a tenor sax in the dryer.
In the dryer.
Originally from Bethesda, Maryland. He's my former roommate and my former womb mate. My older brother, older by only 10 minutes, Peter Anderson. Is also responsible for many of the arrangements that we're playing tonight. And last but not least, my name is Peyton Manning. Thank you. We sincerely want to thank the New Jersey Jazz Society and Rachel Domber for their generous support for putting on these concerts and spreading the gospel of jazz around New Jersey and beyond. And we also want to let you know we do have CDs available in the back. Also, I have a brand new book that I just wrote, and it's all about the Great American Songbook. It's got chapters on Irving Berlin, George Gershwin, Cole Porter, Hoagy Carmichael, Henry Mancini, Lady Gaga. Anyway, come check that out. And actually, the CDs and the books are free this evening. We're not charging anything. But the autographs are $20. And it's a package deal. You have to get both. That's so thank you all so much for being here. Whenever we perform and we see kind of a sold-out house, we're a little bit disappointed. Because we realized we should have charged more. No, seriously, we love performing for small audiences where we don't need to use microphones, and we can see all your faces out there, and it just means so much to us. So, round of applause for you all. Does anyone have any questions for us? Before I even said it, this gentleman started playing, so I thought, why not?
No, I wanted to say thank you for such an amazing show. Is there any history to your saxophones? As to all your other instruments are very shiny. Is there like a special is there a special story to this?
Sure, Pete, you want to take that one?
Sure, well, as you can see, this saxophone's pretty old. It's from 1965. It looks like it's kind of beat up. If we charge more for tickets, we probably could have. But yeah, both these saxophones were made in Paris in the 50s and 60s, and they made them handmade back then. So they're kind of like prized, and they hold all of the great craftsmanship that went into them is still, it's still very much with them today. So that's why we chose them.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
The album you start out,
What about
you
your
said
ass?
this week.
I'm gonna get this.
Is it a recording?
Yes.
How different will that be from the CD in the back?
Oh, sure, yeah, so the CD in the back, we have two. One of them is, the darker one is a trio format, just like you're hearing tonight, and it's got a few of the same songs, including Rhapsody in Blue on it. And then our more recent one, which is a lighter one, is kind of a mix of a potpourri, I speak French, a potpourri of the Great American Songbook songs. And then the one we're recording next week is gonna be all Irving Berlin, but that won't be available for many, many months.
Is Adam on the recording tomorrow, or this week, or Irving Berlin?
Yes, yeah, so.
What's the question?
What's the question? We
I'm
didn't
sorry,
hear the
go ahead.
question.
I want to hear about Adam's axe because that looks like a vintage Gibson.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. I guess it was made around the same time as Pete's saxophone. This is a 1951 Gibson GS-175 for you guitar nerds out there.
All right, a couple more. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to recommend your book. I reviewed it for Jersey Jazz a couple months ago, but if you know about the Great American Songbook, you're going to find a few things in here that you didn't know. Will did a great job of research in finding odd facts about the 12 or 13, what is it, 14 people?
15.
15. And most of them are songwriters, and then there's Sinatra and
I wondered if he was
I don't remember who else.
recognizing
Goodman,
him.
yeah, you sure. So I highly recommend the book.
I'm paying him a small percentage. All right, well, we'll hang out afterwards, and we'd love to talk to some of you. Some of you, not all. I also wanted to mention that my brother and I, the next show that we're leading is going to be on January 26th at Birdland, and it's going to be the debut of our very own big band. So it's going to be a 15-piece big band. We're going to be playing some Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Benny Goodman, and Artie Shaw. So if you're around, that's a Sunday, January 26th, so come check that out at Birdland. That's my little plug for today. But I did want to say one more thing about the piece that we're going to conclude with. Sydney, did you want to say a few words now?
Nope, finish and I'll scoop right behind you.
Okay, great. So the last composer that I'd like to feature a little bit that we're going to play our last tune is by Gershwin. He said he's the most original of all the great American songbook composers. And some of you may know his work, some may not. His songs include I've Got the World on a String, Stormy Weather, and Over the Rainbow. His name was Harold Arlen. And he grew up in an Orthodox Jewish family in Buffalo, New York. But when he was a teenager, he landed a composing job for composing bluesy jazz hits for the black bands at the Cotton Club in the heart of the 1930s. And the great vocalist Ethel Waters adored him and referred to him as my son. She also famously said that Harold Arlen is the blackest white man that I have ever met. But perhaps Alec Wilder, the great commenter on the Great American Songbook, said it best. He described Harold Arlen's style as, let our work be elegant, but let's not behave like the people of suburban Connecticut. We'd like to give you Harold Arlen's first hit, and we're going to close with Get Happy.
offered me a softball and I blew it, so I should have let it be you finish out instead of me. But a couple quick things. Again, thank you to Rachel Dahmer of Arbor's Records. If you're not familiar with their catalog, it's amazing. Pick one of those numbers.
Pick mine. I'm biased.
Okay, you pick one. Read it?
Oh, it's hers?
Yeah.
Last three digits, 780.
780, last three digits? Is it you? Oh, you didn't get a ticket. Next time. 780, going once? Pick another, pick another. Wait. There's one in every crowd. It's you, yay! We hope to see you all at the February show, which will be a tribute, February 2nd, a tribute to Gigi Grice. And our moderator, our very old Noel Cohen, who is a scholar on Gigi Grice. This will be wonderful, with Bruce Williams as our lead saxist. Also, there were some envelopes in the room. If you're able to participate in our annual appeal, I thank you in advance. And where am I here? If you want to join our e-blast list, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. If you aren't already on the list, thank you to John Petrowski here at Impact, as well as Caroline Cornelli here, and Vanessa, our student from Morris County College, who's doing our videography, so thank you to all three of you. And lastly, thank you to all of you who spent your afternoon with us. I hope you had as much fun as we've had, certainly as I've had. I don't need to be the royal we. And again, the Anderson Brothers Trio.